a moment in your bones when the fire takes over. Blood is running, heart is pumping as the battle gets closer. They can say what they want now, 'cause we'll be screaming out, we can be heroes everywhere we go. We can have all that we ever want. Swinging like Ali, rocking our bodies, standing on top like a champion. Keep your silver, give me that gold. You'll remember when I say we can be heroes everywhere we go. Keeping us down is impossible. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable.
And welcome back to the 2018 Bacchus Pro Gaming Series Spring Split. My name is Vulcan, with me is Arctic. Your shoutcasters entering the game 2 of our match 2, where for BRE, they had a really good chance to come back in our game 1, but in the end, in match 2, game 1, it ended with Mineski mowing that mid because of MSS Corky.
Yeah, and I gotta say, in all fairness naman sa RCX Rage Esports, nakita naman talaga natin na they've come quite a long way. And this game right here, it's very interesting kasi masasabi natin nakita naman natin yung improvement ng RCX Rage Esports, pero after seeing that game 1, andun pa rin talaga yung question mark na has that improvement, has that progression been enough na ba para makipag head-to-head naman para sa Mineski? Kasi man, Mineski they're just looking in top form right now.
Obviously, Arctic, when you're talking about entering the semifinals, but in a way for BRE, I think it's still too early to say that we have stopped seeing growth. When you stop seeing growth, that's the time where a team can really fall behind. But for BRE, game 1 pa lang yan, Arctic, they can still try and bounce back in our game 2. I still think when it comes to the composition of BRE that we saw in game 1, they were going for the late game. It's all about, when you're facing up against a Mineski, it's all about surviving the early phase of the game where Mineski is very powerful.
And feeling ko dito na rin pumapasok yung sinasabi ng RCX Rage Esports na when I got to interview Shana as well as XDXP, ang isa sa na-admit nilang medyo pagkukulang nila nung earlier weeks ng group stage. Kaya sila medyo, how do I put it? Kaya sila medyo lackluster ng first few weeks is because yun nga, di sila masyadong as solid pagdating sa decision making, sa pagdating sa drafting. So I'm wondering if the culmination of this right here heading into the playoffs, enough na ba siya? So I guess malalaman natin yan as we head into the second band phase.
On to our second game's drafting phase, Arctic. BRE will now play on the blue side versus Mineski on the red side. So yung mga fans ng Mineski or BRE, let us hear your roar, your battle cry in the chat here, not just from YouTube, but also we are live on Facebook Live, and not to mention, meron pa rin yung third of the hunt where you see the triple kill, quadra, penta, and the objective steal. They will be the link, so be unaware, be alert, and let's see in the game.
Yeah, looking at what we have banned here so far though. So nakikita naman natin medyo may diversity sa band. So may isa kay EXO, may isa kay Gary, may isa kay June. So even for Mineski side actually, so talagang they're really taking into account as far as what they want to avoid as far as strategies that could be dished out. Kumbaga, this is not really, from the bands that we're seeing here, it's not really not just the respect, pero you could also see how certain champions banned out influence a certain strategy that the team might go for. So looks like though, no surprise in the first pick right there, Sion for Lando.
We're seeing a lot of bans targeted in the mid lane, but not just that. I think for Mineski, despite entering the spring split in their strongest form with a great roster, they will not let that, let's say, they will not stop in a way that they would always treat every game equal. So respect fans again on this Camille to Lando. That's what I love about a team was shown incredible performance in the spring split. They still treat it as an equal game.
Yeah, but meanwhile, even with treating it like that, these picks so far, very interesting. I mean, looks like we'll be seeing another champion the XDXP was able to pick up on agad no group stage, which is the Skarner, and then gonna complement that with Ardai's Varus. So interesting that they're giving this Varus to Ardai, because usually when I think of Ardai, I think of yung medyo superstar. Yung medyo action star ang datingan ng marksman na Ardai. He really likes to just go.
Yung mga flashy plays like yung his favorite
Tristana, you have the
Tristana,
Vayne.
But when it comes to yung Varus, medyo you stand still and you just basic attack, deal a lot of damage.
You have to be a little bit more calculated.
But you also need to be you also need that layer of protection. But for BRE, they have yet to secure their support. Then this could be where this Scion may go to the bot or to the top, or in a way. This could be, let's say, the mid lane Scion that has been rising. And let's say we did see it in the LCK where BDD, they did play a mid lane Scion. Could this be it, Arctic? I mean, this is what I love about BRE, where we see that they are aware of the international trends and they always are on a lookout what seems to work, and they may bring it into this game. So now, let's wait.
And I guess it just comes into play here yung they did mention during interviews that may mga inihanda silang mga champion para sa playoffs na hindi pa nila napapakita ng group stage as far as strategy goes. And sabi nga nila na might not necessarily come out in the quarterfinals kasi idedepende pa rin nga naman nila sa kung sino kalaban nila, tsaka kung ano yung draft rin ng kalaban, kung angkop ba siya na piliin. And I guess this might be one of the times right here. Looks like they're gonna be showing a little bit of a surprise by, instead of what I initially thought as a Scion for Lando, looks like it will be flexed out to the mid lane for Jaime. So interesting, because we've been talking about how Ardai as well, he's not running that action star champion, and same goes for Jaime, wherein what I like about Jaime is he could play some really technical champions. So overall, we're just gonna have to see how it ultimately goes. So ladies and gents, Bar 6 Rage Esports, Mineski, all comes down as we head into the ring.
So let's see everything unfold, Arctic. This will be our second game going into the best of 5 series here on one of our match 2, Mineski versus Barcy X Rage Esports, where, to our surprise, this is a great treat for all of us. We are seeing international influence in our local scene in the PGS, where we're seeing the Scion mid that was actually popping up in with BDD. But now, let's see how things can pan out here, because when it comes to a Scion to an Azir matchup, you know that the E can really outrange this Azir. So when it comes to poking and surviving lane, leave it to Jaime to do that.
Yeah, really interested in seeing how Jaime is going to be performing on this Scion. And I think ito lang yung mga telltale signs na Barcy X Rage Esports, they've really come a long way heading into this playoffs right here. I think ito yung pinag-usapan namin ni Chisto kanina na nobody was really expecting for Barcy X Rage Esports to even potentially make it to playoffs. Pero the fact that they made it all the way to the semifinals just goes to show na talagang, you know, they really made their mark here in the Backwards Programming series. And I'm really looking forward to how they'll go in the long run. And of course, more importantly, if they could even get past Mineski to potentially make it to the finals. Kumbaga, the way I look at it, the fact that if you're going to think about BRE versus IPT, that was like a David and Goliath game right there. This time it's like David and Godzilla for Mineski. Na talagang Mineski, they've just shown so much power.
So the Kaiju, in a way, use tingin mo yung trailer ng Pacific Rim. In a way, that's maybe it. So for BRE, they're riding the mecha with the Mecha Scion in the mid lane. So let's see how things will pan out, because when it comes to the Scion and the Azir, we all know that the Scion can't really do much, but at least when he can reach the level 2, can have the decent wave clear with his E and W, and try and really harass EXO in the middle. And note that, guys, summoners, we are seeing si James won't be playing in our game 1. We want to stress that it will be EXO playing in our second game.
Yeah, interesting na we're actually seeing EXO being fielded again for this playoffs. But so far, I mean, Exo Hamis, I feel like yun yung isa sa maganda sa Mineski. They have that flexibility to work with either player, depende sa kung ano yung tingin nilang sinong mas angkop na hindi lang laro yung game, pero especially going with strategies. Because I feel like Hamis and Exo, they have their respective strengths and flexibilities pagdating sa mga champion na kaya nilang laruin. So, pretty good plays here and calls by Mineski so far. Not just in terms of what we see in game, pero even with how they plan out kung how they're gonna go about this best of 5.
Yes, and when it comes to that flexibility, Arctic, that gives Mineski a lot of ways to build around a team, a lot of ways to utilize their players to full extent in a way that you use the pros and the cons to their advantage. But for BRE, their pros is that they're very aware, they're quick to change, especially XXP, picking up the Skarner immediately when we saw in our quarterfinals. Now this is where we see BRE. They are quick to change and they're very open to, let's say, a gag in the top lane. Immediately forces out a flash from Lando. So, that is a very close call for Lando.
Yeah, very good move there coming in from Jundo na nakapag-rotate siya dito sa top side. Alam naman natin, kung nasundan nyo yung history ni Lando dito sa Bacchus Pro Gaming Series, alam naman natin lahat na very proficient si Lando pagdating sa champion na to. If anything, a lot of the games wherein he has played Fiora na napanalo ng nung nasa TNC pa siya, he was a pivotal reason kung ba't sila nanalo sa mga games ngayon because of him popping off on this champion. Nobody really being able to deal with him in the later parts of the game. So, gusto ko yung rotation dito ni Jun to try to get something out of this top lane ganks here to boost up Kaigo. And I think with that flash down kay Lando, we might be seeing another, at least round 2 para dito sa Kaigo Jun onto Lando.
And note that for Kaigo, we're seeing yung gang black, but what I'm seeing right now is aggression. Again, coming from BRE this time. Now trying to push back Mineski's bot lane, but going back sa top lane, it all comes down to Kaigo clearing at the wave with his barrels. And Lando, when you remove the minions, it really makes it harder for Lando, Fiora, to really go for the turrets. That's what Lando wants, and that is what Kaigo is doing to deny.
Yeah. And you know what, another thing that's interesting here is that kung mapapansin mo yung parehong top laner na to, they both opted to go for Ancient Coin as that first item. So, not to mention the fact that they're also both running Klepto. So talagang medyo...
That's thought, but in the end, it's just showing to Mineski that BRE, they are aware and they would try to counter what happened in the top lane where Lando's summoner was burnt. Yes, and this Kha'Zix pickup by Mineski is something that will really benefit their strong early games. And we all know that for Kha'Zix, having a strong early game means that you can immediately prioritize lanes where you can shut down, and for Mineski, they're very powerful in that. But for BRE, sa game 1 natin, Arctic, we did see that the BRE was able to stall.
Yeah, and I think that just really goes to show how BRE is able to roll with the punches, realizing kung ano yung mga win conditions na dapat nilang magampanan. Especially if it requires them to, let's say, they need to scale up later into the game, how they need to hold down the house for themselves para marating nila yung spike na yun. Pero, yeah, unfortunately, Mineski was able to build up such a pretty good lead that it became a little bit more trickier for BRE earlier. Pero, I'm wondering how this is gonna pan out though, because so far, if you're gonna notice how things are going across the board, everybody's up in terms of creep score. If anything, kung mapapansin nyo, ang pinaka nagsastruggle dito thus far is si Lando, 25 to 46 of a difference. That's pretty big, man.
And that just goes to show dun sa early aggression ni Jun, where na-burn niya yung flash ni Lando, he does not have the safety anymore to really be aggressive because he needs that flash up, because in the end, if you keep pushing and you get picked off, and that's coming from me, where you would really feel the pain and the fact that you would lose your lane.
Yeah, I mean, trust Vulcan right there. He has that. I'm pretty sure you have a lot of that experience in the top lane.
Maasim ako kasi sa top lane. So, and knowing Lando, he does know his restraint. This is Lando in his Fiora, where he had great performance in our game 1. But now, Arctic, I want to see Lando on his Fiora to really show the damage coming in. That would be Predator, and the challenge on the Kaigo. He does flash away. One more spot was popped, so the 2 was remaining. In the end, Kaigo makes it under his tower.
Yes, medyo nakakapanghinayang nga lang wala pang ultimate si XD XP doon. If that would have resulted into potential impale, I felt like that could have sealed the deal para dito kay Lando dito sa top side in order to get kill up that first blood. Pero yeah, that's just one of the things that at least that was just pretty much making the most of it. As a small consolation, na-force nga naman nila yung flash dito kay Kaigo. So it's workable, especially once XD XP hits level 6. Kung gusto nila mag ground 2 gank sa top side, probably allows him a little bit more, let's say, leverage as far as maybe securing a potential kill into a first blood.
Ang sayang talaga yung gank ni XDXP. He wasn't level 6, so he did not have to impale para mag-sure kill si Kaiko. He already used his scurvy to cleanse out of the disability. That was an opener for the impale, pero ang malas si XDXP kasi wala siyang ultimate.
And we also have to take note, in all fairness to XDXP, I mean, talagang nakita naman natin na very resolute siya on trying to get to level 6 right away. Most of what he has been doing these past few minutes is at least try to make sure that BRE has a decent awareness of the map whenever he makes rotations, whenever he clears out camps, and just trying to power farm his way there. So unfortunately, yun nga lang, pagkadating sa point na nakapag-gank na siya, still at level 5. So, a little bit of a missed out opportunity. Pero, still, pressure is pressure towards top side by losing out on that flash for Kaigu. Meanwhile, para naman dito sa bot lane, looks like, in all fairness, Ardai and Gary, it's pretty much been a game of farms.
Tama yan, Ardai, kasi dun sa top lane, na-burn yung flash ni Kaigo. That we saw kay Lando dun kay June. So, in the end, it was, in a way, equal trade-off. I mean, a revenge, if you could say it that way. Pero sa bot lane, you're seeing the Shen and the Varus, where you can protect the Varus two ways. For protection, normally we see it with, let's say, a Tom Kench, but we're now seeing it with the Shen. So in a way, may Spirit's Refuge to try and block some basic attacks. We did see TG using the Shen support very effectively.
Oh yeah. And
really effectively.
And in all fairness, I mean, a lot of the times we've been highlighting a lot of players dito sa BRE, mostly si Jaime, si XDXP, si Lando. Pero in all fairness, Shanna, I've been also very impressed with how Shanna has been performing. Napatunayan na talagang not necessarily one of the supports you want to discount just yet.
Oh, teka lang, RD McDonald sa top lane. XDXP making his way in. Does he have the impale this time? He does buy time, gets the stun there, and the impale finally. Kaigo may be taken down here in the top lane, but Lando, he will be pushing him down. There's the battle for the last stick, and the riposte will not finish Kaigo off. He's not going down without a fight, but in the end, we have our first blood.
Yeah, it took a bit of a while to take down Kaigo, pero at the end of the day, nakuha naman nila yung first blood. And of course, gaya nga lang sinasabi ko, Lando's just gonna take that quite gladly kasi magandang build-up nga naman to para sa kanyang Fiora, lalo kung magpatuloy-tuloy to para sa top laner ng BRE, mas makakapag-pop off siya. And if you're gonna look at the composition of MSK, I feel like, you know, it should be easier for Lando to kind of spread through that, play around that, kind of style this way during these fights here. Pero it's a little bit too early to tell.
Oh, that's going to be an in by June. Immediately gets a lot of damage denied with the refuge. We're seeing TJ with a Zenith Blade going in with a Solar Flare and gets knocked back by Exo's Divine. That will be Jaime forced to flash away.
Yes, beautiful lockdown coming in from both Great Initiate coming in from PG into that Emperor's Divide from Exo to make sure na ma-sure kill nila tong si Shanna na hindi siya makakatakas. And yeah, that results to a pretty good balance, 1-1 right there in terms of kills. Pero maganda yung naging response dito ng Barca XRH Esports. Nakita nilang may action dito sa bottom side ng river kung saan tatlong miyembro ng MSK ang nag-commit. So,
si Ardai is alone there. Close call. We saw June going for the stealthy moving. Corruption was used. Cleanses out of that ultimate, but calls in. Shanna is right here in the bot lane going in with a thought connecting on to the Kazakhs. That is going to be Ardai. Backing away. No casualties yet in the bot lane, but in the end, a lot of resources was used, but still for BRE, they will able to survive the 3-man bot.
Yeah, that would have been very scary for Ardai if ever nakakuha ng magandang collapse ang Mineski dito sa bot lane to take down that marksman. So far, still gonna look pretty A-okay. Although, unfortunately, Shanna did suffer as a casualty earlier. But still, everything's pretty safe out here.
Dapat mag-ingat si Ardai kasi that Leona can really go in with a Zealot Blade and really bypass the minion waves pushing in by BRE. So, leave it to Shanna to really protect his ADC.
Yeah.
So, the Spirit's Refuge again, Arctic, that we saw in the bot lane, denying so much damage. That was enough for Arctic to survive, but will Jaime survive that divide? And Jun going in for that gang. Oh boy, that is another casualty by Jaime, trying to really outpush Axel was working for him, but he has to realize that he cannot get away with his ultimate kasi may Emperor's Divide that will immediately block his escape.
Yeah, I feel like for BRE Esports, medyo kailangan nilang i-take into account na to try to predict yung magiging uptime sa mga ultimate ng Mineski. Kasi as soon as Mineski has those ultimates, they could just go for a full collapse as long as they play their cards right, as far as whenever they go for these outplays, these initiates onto the members of BRE Esports. So yeah, that's something that we really have to be careful with, lalo na if you're going to look at elements like the Leona, like the Azir could really set things up to turn things around for Mineski in fights, or at least go for initiates. Then we'll just have to see how that goes though. Let's see if BRE can make that adjustment, at least that self-conscious estimate timer in a way, just so that they know when they can engage on Mineski, when they can push the envelope a bit.
That was actually Landa going for the launch base check, and now with the Tiamat, he will try and push out the lanes. Great time riposte by Landa to deny that cannon's the barrel's damage from Kaigu, but now we're seeing that for the looks of the game, we're nearing our 14-minute mark. First blood turret not yet taken away. First turret actually not taken away by any teams just yet, because we're seeing a Fiora and a Sion mid, but yung mid lane turret medyo mababa ng health, so we can expect that maybe EXO can really push this lane and signal a gang in the bot lane. Refuge was there and the corruption was used so that TG won't get close to Ardai.
Yeah, Mineski, they tried to go for a
3
set
ultimates
there.
used there.
Yeah, that was quite a bit there. And nakita naman natin na pababa na dapat si Jun to help out if ever a full-on clash did go between itong parehong magkabilang bot lane. But still, I feel like it was a little bit too early to have gone for that. Kaya medyo nakatakas agad tong si Ardai taka si Shanna. Plus, I think that I don't think Ardai would go.
He overstepped, but in the end, the Zenith Blade did not turn the X-Dex. He's still surviving there, gets stun locked there, and Jaime goes in with the R and the Q, and there's a knockup, and Shanna with the Stand United, trying to buy time for XDX. In the end, that it would be a slaughter in the river, giving a double kill to EXO and a kill to Gary.
Yes, that was pretty crazy. And nakita naman natin, pabor na pabor siya dito sa Mineski. Pero yung magtataka ako, I mean, Gary was already making his way to support the upper side. I feel like that extra help from Ardai could have been a little bit more helpful, pero yeah, then again, Mineski was just able to get the better collapse right there in terms of the numbers. So, unfortunate, and nakita naman natin, ang laki ng nakuwang value dun ng Mineski. Not just, nakita naman natin, so many casualties from the side of BRE, nakuha nila yung first turret, plus a dragon. Kumbaga, para kang nagkaroon ng banana split with the whipped cream and cherry on top. Super sarap na dessert para sa Mineski.
Because when you get the first drink of the game, tapos yung Mountain Drink yan, that's like cookies and cream. Yung Rice Krispies dun sa ice cream or Arctic. Pero kay Lando, he did use the Rift Herald to try and race for the first turret. But we did see that in the mid lane where the Azir EXO was really pushing in Jaime strong and hard, he was able to secure the first turret of the game. So for Mineski, this is where we see where they shine the most. Dun sa early game Arctic, medyo ma-pressure si BRE. But can they really shake it off what we saw in game 1? Because at this point, we're seeing maybe our viewers out there, medyo repeat to, deja vu dun sa game 1 where we're seeing Mineski again having a good start. But now we're seeing when it comes to Lando, may kill siya, 1 kill, and already has the Revenant's Hydra. So in a way, Lando, hindi siya masyado behind so that he can try and buy more time for his stream.
I feel like for BRE Esports, it's interesting that you brought that up. Because if you're going to look at where everyone else is right now, I mean, Jaime at a 0-2, Shanna at a 0-2 as well. Less complementary to what they can do here in the bot lane. I think Lando might be a good investment here to try to get to pop off. Nakita naman natin dito, if anything, as far as turrets catched by BRE Esports, medyo may window of opportunity dito sa top side to take that down. Pero I think depende talaga to potentially kay XTXP. Whether rin kay Jaime can go for sets with the Unstoppable Onslaught to make for surprise initiates towards the top side. Depende pa rin with how the fights play off towards top. But yeah, I think that's the big question right here. What move will RCX Rage Esports at least do to manage out this phase of the game against Mineski? Because Mineski, medyo overwhelming damage. And look at where EXO is right now. 302 on this Azir. That's 100% kill participation. Not to mention, siya yung medyo pinaka maganda ang kinaroroonan ngayon as with the players of Mineski in terms of standing.
And dahil sa mga early clashes ng Mineski at yung mga pera kuminton sa Mineski, they were able to get the QSS very early. We see right now dun sa items natin, Summoners, so tingin nyo, si EXO at si Gary, meron silang QSS. What does that mean for XDXP? A really huge blow in pressure with the Skarner. I mean, who else are you gonna stare with the Impale?
Yeah.
Are you gonna go for Kaigo? No, he has the Scurvy. Are you gonna go maybe for, let's say, the Kha'Zix? That could be the only target for XDXP, or any type of pickups that BRE may want to try and go for it. And this is going to be Ardai reactively flashing away from the solar flare. Here it comes, two-man knock-up, not correct just yet. That will be just a kill. Locking down TG. He won't get away just there. Oh, immediate lockdown right there. He cannot escape. So in the end, they just left TG. One kill went to BRE's side. Kill score is now 2-5. We're now nearing the Baron buff timer is 1 minute and 32 seconds. But Arctic, Silando, he's trying his best to buy time. He gets the red buff and he has the phase. They go for the Triforce.
I think with what happened there, Mineski, they were really banking on trying to get that bot lane. But still, at the end of the day,
Lando going on to Kaigo.
1v1.
Guess for the Baron, it's not trying to kite away, but we're seeing Kaigo really kiting Lando. He does have the red buff. And now, it will be a 3v2. That's going to be Shana buying some time. Landing this kill onto Kaigo. He does get away with a launch, and it will be June chasing him down, launch away. Slow, will he die? No, Shana with the taunt, with the save. That was Shana with the save, everyone. Did you see that taunt? And did you see Jaime taking down June with the Scion?
Oh, man.
Dios mío, that taunt itself was clutch, and now under the turret, they will take down the Azir.
Yeah, wow, that was pretty good there for Bar6 Rage Esports. Although Ardai, I can't really say the same.
Oh, get the heal, another heal, gets the... Oh, late footwork. Just forced to just watch himself die because dun sa W niya, yung slow, medyo over the reach there. Caitlyn was not affected by that. So for Gary, knowing that the virus has no mobility, that's a sure go. Sure kill.
That was really interesting though, coming in for Bar6 Rage Esports. I think that's a good telltale. Oh no, Lando though.
Yana Mirage, he did get the delve with the middle and the solo flare. Ardeg, he's dead.
Yep. I think he overextended his boundaries there. Didn't respect that. Kind of overstayed his welcome. I mean, that was already a time wherein the rest of Mineski has pretty much respawned already. So, he should have respected that. Kumbaga, hindi, medyo maganda yung simula niya. Pero hindi pa siya nasa punto na kaya niyang maging gutsy as far as just going solo towards the top side. So, overall,
lamang si Jaime, yes, for sure. Pero hindi siya kaya yung mga two members na may super double CC, especially si TG on this Leona can go for the E and the Q and the solar flare. And Lando, medyo, I think ginagamit siya yung W na, so I think that was a clear go signal for TG to go all in without any worries that his CC will be turned against him. But in the end, I'm worried for BRE kasi at the kill score of 5-7, kayang-kaya nila bounce back sa game 2 dahil sa game 1 medyo hindi maganda yung resulta ng BRE.
That, man, I think it just goes to show that Bar6 Rage Esports, they can roll with the punches naman as long as they could match numbers with Mineski in fights. And one person I would like to see start really coming online though is XDXP, because if you're gonna look at itemization so far, he's been struggling to really build up here. Kung ikumpara mo siya sa counterpart ng si June na already 2 items completed, already looking to complete his 3rd item. Meanwhile, XDXP only has his jungle item completed. Not to mention, if you can look at itemization that he does have so far, it's mostly on health. So, if you're titingnan mo yung composition ng Mineski, medyo masakit yung damage nila across the board. The Gangplank, the Kha'Zix, the Azir, the Caitlyn, everybody can deal a pretty good amount of damage, which XDXP can't really sustain long enough just yet. Kumbaga, he could go for impales, but I don't think he'll last long enough to actually bring back whoever he impales into the hands of RCX Esports just because of how vulnerable he is. But looks like finally completed the second item. We'll go for the Warmog. So well, still pretty healthy. And you also have to take into account he does have a bit of survivability with his skill. But
Ardai on to Ardai immediately gets deleted here. They can't do anything at this point. At this point, they would just run for the hills. And that surprise stealth play by Jun really catching the members of BRE off guard. Immediately removes 2 members. This is a signal for the Baron buff, but for Mineski, maybe they want more. They don't want a 50-50. They're just baiting them out here, and XDXP bites the bait. He is getting locked out and will not escape. And now this will not anymore be a 50-50.
yeah, and looks like Mineski, they're
4
just
members
confident
down.
with it.
Jesus.
This is going to be big for Mineski. Going for this Baron way too early on in the game. This is going to be overwhelming for Barca X-Rays, but they need to stand their ground. But yeah, let's talk about what happened earlier. For Ardai at least, gets cut off by the members of Mineski in just one fell swipe. I think that's something that the marksman of BRE needs to start respecting. Gaya ng sinabi ko, medyo overwhelming yung damage output ng Mineski kapag nag-converge sila sa isang target. And I think Ardai, he has to be aware of his positioning on this map, not to allow that opportunity. Let's go ahead and check out that prepay though. So ito yung sinasabi ko na, okay, so Jaime and Shanna was in the vicinity, but because of the damage output from Mineski, was just able to take down Ardai instantly. Oo, nandun si Shanna at si Jaime to support him, but because of how fast he goes down, just because of how he melts with the damage coming in from Mineski, that's something that we have to be noteworthy of.
Oh, did you see the repulse going in for a stun and the Impale gets the suppress onto Gary. Sumasakto yung trap, tapos sakto din yung repulse para mag-stun si Gary. Hindi siya makilos, and that was actually an easy kill for BRE. So Arctic, we're looking at the kill score 6-13. Sa tingin mo, yung sa kay BRE, can they still bounce back here?
Well, if they can hold their ground within these next few minutes,
We did see in game 1, right?
yeah, basta hindi nila hayaan yung Mineski na makakuha ng maximum value out of yung Baron nila, then I feel like that's ground that they could work with. But again, it all comes down to how they position themselves on the snap so far. They need to avoid getting picked off by the members of Mineski at all under any circumstance, because if anyone gets picked off by if they get outnumbered by Mineski by a pick-off, then yun yung medyo nakakatakot eh. Nakita naman natin kung gano'ng kabilis bumagsak si Ardai sa earlier pick-off partida. Nandun na si Jaime, nandun na si Shanna. So that's something that they have to be careful of. BRE can potentially come back, but he's got damage onto Lando.
And that save onto Shanna with the taunts immediately makes Mineski back off on the red side of BRE. So I think for our summers, medyo, I think they're actually asking, why is XXB getting the Warmugs and the Cinderhawk? Note that we're still in our patch 8.4.
Yes.
In the patch 8.5, the Warmug and the Cinderhawk combo, in a way, has been nerfed down to really deny yung early pressure that yung mga Sejuani builds can do. But this is actually the solo kill that we missed.
Yeah, so EXO is quite fed right here. So looks like Jaime, it does seem that he makes his way out of there safely, but then again, you have to take note, June and EXO just able to style his way in there to make sure that he does get the kill onto Jaime. So unfortunately for Jaime, you know, he has to take that extra precaution. He wants to go all the way whenever he makes a retreat.
You want to go all the way, of course, and then when you want to pull back, it's too late. You get popped. So for BRE, they would try and buy more time. Again, they have to side with a clear. But again, with the Warmugs and the Cinderhawk, this works so well for XDXC because you can just wait for the members of Mineski to be whittled down. But do they have someone to whittle them down so they can maximize the Warmugs? I don't see it. I just see the side can just buy time. But at least XDXP, he can be an annoyance to Mineski that he can go in and out real quick.
Yeah. And I don't know, this is so tricky for Bar 6 for Esports kasi if makikita mo yung shift ng power nila, mostly a lot of their hope as far as damage output comes in onto Lando because of how Ardai has been getting picked off a lot in the earlier phases of this game.
Did you see
Medyo unreliable pa yung damage ni Ardai. So, if you're gonna look at Mineski, however, everybody's pretty much beefed up right now. Like, nobody has a bad standing on Mineski, and the damage output, we've just seen the demonstration time and time again.
And when it comes to Mineski with the early game, they immediately took down the 2 mountain directions. So one flash. So this is the reason why for Mineski, they can just force BRE and they have to Caitlyn to zone out with the trap with Jaime move by time in the front line. We see XXP trying to go around, but he gets stopped by June, so he cannot impale anyone, and that would be another member down for the count.
Yeah, looks like XTXT.
And XXT flashing away under the tower. Can he survive? That's too much. So, in the end, EXO gets that easy double kill.
Oof, this is just becoming unfortunate for Barca Esports at this point. At yung sinasabi ko, as soon as they start separating and allowing them... Oh!
Ay, nako. He was trying to get away there, but that would be the inverse divide, trying to buy time for him to go around. He's alive for now, but that would be the last tick of the Ignite that would take him down.
Yeah, that was just the best case scenario for Arda. I mean, there was no way he was going to get back because of all 5 members of MSK starting to make their way towards that bottom side. But is MSK going to go for the finish, though?
I think they can, Arte, because we're seeing the death timers really high on Ardai and Shanna. But we are seeing Jaime and XXT plus Lando alive. But what can they do against the 5 members of MSK? They can try and go in with that big amount of TG first. The Grand Challenge was used. That's another CC lockdown onto Gary. Could not escape there. Lando really making it work here. Really going for the cleanup. And now, if he gets that double bump, sweet double bump going to... Oh my god, 1 by 1. Getting popped by Lando.
Man, Lando, the Lord and Savior
matapos
of
yan.
Barca XRH Esports. He's not done yet.
Not yet done. But does June have enough mana for the lead? He's just forced to use the flash, so he doesn't make it out alive. He was going for the fruit, but was not going to risk for the slow, so immediately went for the flash.
Man, Lando, there we go. That's the window of opportunity that Barca XRH Esports has right now.
Wow.
Pero, in order for Lando to actually be able to continue to thrive on this Fiora, medyo conditional eh. As soon as Mineski's grouped up, I don't think Lando can really survive with all that overwhelming damage coming in from Mineski. But if it comes to chasing down targets, I feel like that's where he has a better chance right now. But oh no!
Great
riposte.
riposte coming from Lando to deny that solar flare. But now, Summoners, we are now nearing our 30-minute mark. And the next Baron is live in 41 seconds.
Oh man, that's gonna be
What's
big.
gonna happen?
Well, for Barca XRH Esports, definitely under any circumstances, hindi na dapat na ibibigay yun. Because I feel like if Mineski seals that Baron, that could be the Baron that finishes the game for Barca XRH Esports. So we'll just have to see how they're gonna go about this. Looks like, as far as what I'm seeing here though, I mean, even with this Baron already coming up, wala pa tayo nakikitang maneuver from Barca XRH Esports na mag-establish man lang ng vision dito sa Baron side. At nakita na natin, medyo maliwanag ang buhay para sa Mineski dito sa upper side ng mapa. Already going for offensive vision, but Kaigu
Gets knocked out with the arm on the side there. Will be the kill. It does flash away. The riposte does not hit the vital spot, but it doesn't matter for Lando. He will get the full value of the Grand Challenge, but seeing we saw 2 members
Holy
in
cow!
Holy! Yes, very holy, Artec, that we did
Whoa.
see that the Baron Mouth, as soon as it spawned, gets deleted with the 2 Mountain Drake.
If only you guys can see me, like my mouth just literally went down to the floor because of how fast that Baron was taken by Mineski.
Oh my god, that was really fast.
At gaya ng sinasabi ko, this could be Barca XRH Esports' last stand if they don't play their cards right as far as how they play this defense game against Mineski shoving in onto them. Nakita naman natin, 2 inhibitors are already down. Even if it responds, Mineski could easily take it with all the damage coming out from them, plus a double Mountain Drake. The stars are aligning for Mineski right now.
Oh my god.
Man.
Who needs a banner of command when you
Exactly.
deal that much damage, when you have 2 Mountain Drakes on your hand, and now we're seeing Gary is just setting up the traps, trying to zone out BRE. Goes in the flash, goes in the taunt, and Divide is there to provide some damage, but it's going to be Lana going in and take down Gary. Shadow with the Solari and the Stand United survives there. I mean, Lando gets survived there thanks to the protection from Shanna, but leaving behind XP. Mineski will be happy to trade things off for the 1-for-1 because in the end, they still have the double Mountain Drake and the Baron buff in their hands.
Yes, nag-try gumawa ng play si XP doon. Pero nakita na naman natin, medyo na-wear out agad ang Barca XRH Esports sa simula ng fight na yun, just trying to take down Gary. So,
Boy.
ito yung sinasabi ko, Vulcan, is this gonna be the finish for...
Hindi pa eh, kasi for Mineski, they're the type of team where they will try not to take any risks. Especially, even though they're this ahead, they still go for a Baron where they have complete control of that, as we saw before. Ang bilis yung Baron. And now they will eye this. Oh shit.
Yes, and take note, dahil nga ng sinasabi mo, banner of command isn't even needed by Mineski at this point, especially if you're going to look at what they're playing with right now. Just the damage output alone pretty much balances things out. It just pans it out, easily makes up for not even needing Banner of Command. Tapos gaya nga na sinasabi natin, sobrang stars are aligning for Mineski with that double mountain ring, which makes it all the more faster for them to take down all these objectives. So I'm still wondering how Bar 6 Rage Esports can come back into this game. Kasi ang medyo problema ko dito is medyo malaking pilay na agad that Ardai wasn't able to at least stand his ground, get to the same point where, let's say, his counterpart Gary is. 3 items completed for Ardai, but even with this attack speed, like just throw out those basic attacks into proccing that W. But is he even able to do that just by the mere fact that whenever he does make that attempt, let's just shut down siya agad ng Mineski.
Yeah, it's very difficult for even XXP to go into the backline of Mineski because of the Azir, and not to mention the Leona and the Kha'Zix has been blocking XXP from getting the targets there. Here it comes. Focuses onto Exo. Looks like Jaime stopped midway, and he's left to be slaughtered by Gary's free hit. That's going to be the divide with the peel and the deny from Mineski. So I think time is down. Lando 2. It's a matter of time for Mineski to secure the second game.
Yes, looks like Mineski, this could be their opening to go for the beautiful finish into match point. Looks like Bar 6 Esports XXP. No! He gets decimated. Just that damage. Just too much.
Too hot for BRE to handle here in our second game. Arctic. But now, this will be the last chance for BRE to try and deny a clean 3-0 from Mineski. We are now at our match point.
Yes, well played by Mineski right there. And man, I gotta say, Bar 6 Rage Esports, they're definitely playing their hearts out. Nakikita naman natin na yung improvement kung ano yung binuga. Yun lang talaga. The question pa rin still lies in whether or not they could take down like a massive monolith like Mineski, who is in top form. And I mean, okay, let's go ahead and look at how Bar 6 Rage Esports could have gotten back into the game. Gaya nga ng sinasabi natin, Lando had a pretty good time in that game. Yun lang talaga, the stars didn't quite align for them as it did for Mineski, wherein the key ingredients for that composition to have worked, a lot of people were kind of falling behind, especially in the earlier parts ng game. Nakita naman natin XD, XP, as well as Jaime, they weren't able to deal with the damage output from Mineski from the get-go. And when they did manage to start off building items, medyo huli na because of where Mineski was at as far as yung lead nila. So it's so unfortunate. I like the effort coming in for Bar 6 Rage Esports, but the question still remains as to whether or not they could fare against Mineski.
And that question will be answered after a short break here. So, to the fans of BRE, they are now at match point. This is a very important game that will be moving on after the short break. Let's hope that BRE can try and take away 1 point and mount maybe at least a 2-1, forcing a 4th game. But right now for Mineski, great momentum going into game 3. After the short break, we'll see right there, Summoners. This is me, Vulcan, signing off here with Arctic. We will resume our match 2 from a short commercial break. Now, it will be a 3v2. That's going to be Shana buying some time. Landing the skill onto Kyle. He does get away with a launch, and it will be June. Chasing him down, launch away. Slow. What did I know? Shana with the taunt, with the save. That was Shana with the save, everyone. Did you see that taunt? And did you say hi, man? Taking down June with the Cyan.
Oh man.
Yes, that guy on Ardai immediately gets deleted here. They can't do anything at this point. At this point, they would just run for the hills, and that's surprise stealth play by June, really catching the members of the. Oh, did you see the repulse going in for stun and impale gets the suppress onto Gary. They have to take Lagos to zone out with a trap for hide and move by time. In the front line, we see XXP trying to go around, but he gets stopped by June, so he cannot impale anyone, and that would be another member down for the count.
Yeah, looks like that's
and XXP flashing away under the tower. Can he survive? That's too much. So, in the end, Exo gets that easy double kill. Not onto Gary, could not escape there. Lando really making it work, just really going for the cleanup. And now, if he gets that double bump, sweet double bump going to, oh my god, 1 by 1. Goes in the flash, goes into the top, the divide is there to provide some damage, but it's going to be Lando going in and take down Gary. Shadow with the Solari and the Stand United survive there. I mean, Lando gets survived there thanks to the protection from Shanna, but leaving behind actually XP. Mineski will be happy to play this thing off to 1-for-1 because in the end, They still have the double mountain trick and the Baron Bomb in their hands.
Yes, nag-try gumawa ng play si XT dun. Pero nakita na naman natin, medyo na-wear out agad ang Barca Straight Esports sa simula ng fight na yun, just trying to take down Gary. So,
Come. Focuses onto Exo. Looks like Jaime stopped midway. And he's left to be slaughtered by Gary's free hit. That's going to be the divide with the peel and the deny from Mineski. So I think time is down. Lando 2. It's a matter of time for Mineski to secure the second game.
yes, looks like Mineski, this could be their opening to go for the beautiful finish into match point. Looks like Barca Straight Esports XXP, no! He gets decimated. Just that damage, Gary Capital, just too much.
Too hot for BRE to handle here in our second game, Arctic. But now, this will be the last chance for BRE to try and deny a clean 3-0 from Mineski. We are now at our match point.
Yes, well played by Mineski right there.